everyone! Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! Hope everyone's doing good. Hi! We're back with Trial Part 2 of the final episode of the first game. Very excited, but also very sad, because that means we're coming up on the end of our Ace Attorney playthrough as a whole. Like, this series is almost over. We finished all the mainline games. We're about to finish the Great Ace Attorney game. So, not about to. We still got a whole second game, but still. And then we might do Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. We'll see if I can get that to work on here. And then we're all done, pretty much, with Ace Attorney until the 7th game decides to come out. Or maybe a new investigations game? Maybe? I'll take either. Oh, man. And then after we finish up, we have Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective, which... not an Ace Attorney game, but, you know, it's close enough to fill the Ace Attorney sized hole in my heart. It's been 2 years of doing this, of doing Ace Attorney. We started in April of 2024, I'm pretty sure. Man. Summer of 2024 was nuts. We were streaming every single day. We had 8-hour streams finishing up Ace Attorney at some point. Oh, and here we are now. Reaching the end 2 years later. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. And I yapped too long and my controller shut off. You know what? Screw it. It's early enough. I'm reloading the game. Hold on. La 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 la. La 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 la. Play some music. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know. It's like nothing happened. It's like nothing happened. Shh. I yapped too long. We just get to see this little cutscene again. With no yapping this time. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. I really gotta get a cord for this controller. It's bad. These guys. I wonder if him being up here is going to become relevant, like, or if we're going to have to pursue him at some point, or if he's going to have something to say. I presume you heard the defense counsel's submission examination. Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Go, blimey. This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks. Well, it was Bedlam Sooners, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out me Lucy lockets. However, that was a lie. You brothers. God blimey. On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never done not another sort. Oh, why'd you figure that out? You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, In this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. Oh, there goes. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov. We hear you. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach. Illegal entry, the whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was where we heard the gunshots, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Lummy, it didn't fall F. Give me a fright. We were thinking the shooter'd come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scuppered right into him in the black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Winterbank's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tied it up, yeah? Oh, sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. Why you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Got to make us sound a bit more cutthroat. It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at the Winterbanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Gregson. Such a cool visual. Illegal entry, the whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. So when we had the gunshots, see, made us both jump and all this stuff went flying. Hold it! So what you're saying is the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all those things off the counter? Well, and it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, right? Blimey, me dead granny would have waken up at that bang. Big brother, yeah. Big brother, yeah. Big brother screamed like a blooming baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over the load of books, candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked them scales on the floor? You've really mastered working quietly then. What a rocket! My granny would have been scared back into a grave at a clatter like that. So, in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it was... Oh, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam. Don't... What's going on, Greg? See?
Excuse me.
Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I'll keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now to what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? Also, you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night. And the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. The little liars they are. Oh, did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Oh, wait. You're just... You're not letting them... Whatever. You're waiting until now to say that? Might have, Golf, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Well, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it, yep. It's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs. Right you are, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me the gun."
Hold it!
So, in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously? We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Kind of thing. Huh. A career in acting tragically missed. And where were the voices coming from, could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. Something interesting about their reenactment is that reenactment would have the victim being shot in the front, but we know that the bullet entered from the back at a diagonal trajectory. Do we have the crime scene photo? Yeah. So I wonder if that's what we present here. On me granny's life, of course it was. On his granny's life, of course it was. So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Winterbank and the sound of his voice? So that would mean what? What, Nash? What? Any ideas? Yes, counsel, indeed it would. No, we don't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy club was giving us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On my granny's life it is. On his granny's life it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. And don't they have the same granny? Aren't they brothers? To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. You make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tied it up after, like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, bloke who owned the place was holding guns, so he should have fired. The bloke who owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Okay, wait, what? That's new. That actually helps more than the other statement.
Objection.
So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You've got the picture. He has, Nash, he has. No question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Windibank was not holding a firearm of any description. Oh, you... what? Yeah. Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection.
So, we got there just with the wrong idea. There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Windibank's gun was found at the scene. Yeah, in Gina's hand. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Oh, the box. Yeah, there's more to it. They used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. Yeah, that can't have happened. Kind of thing.
Hold it.
Stay exactly where you are. Right there. Yeah. If the crime had taken place of you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness. Are you sure, counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. Okay, so this is where he was shot from the back. Where is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? A report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner that confirms instant death due to a single bullet wound from the back. There are no other signs of trauma.
Take that.
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of, "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. Huh. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Oh, Miss Freeman. Oh. But it's the God honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When he was shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. Oh. You saw it, did you? That changes things. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windibank holding a gun? Something like that might have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun, which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Oh, Nash, no. I like Ryunosuke's stance. Order, order, order. Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, you weren't supposed to do them. It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies? Ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, well... Cut it out, Nash, cut it out. If we blab now, you know what you'll do to us. He? Who are they talking about? Ooh. Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Thank you. Bro, come on, the game's up. But you'll have our guts for goddess. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to? On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Encounter with the victim. Right, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Well, give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter. I pulled my gun on him and then he legged it through the door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear. So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop? Well, yeah, so sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But, be honest, Governor, this time. This time, Nash, this time. We ain't got nothing more to hide. Very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Okay, I'm not sure what to do with this, so I think we just start pressing.
Hold it!
When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Winterbank? Yes, sorry, I mean, that's right. We was keep a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was going to come out of the back room like that. The back room being the pawnbrokery storeroom? Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place he could have been. So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises.
Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well.
But that doesn't make sense, does it? Jean had threatened Mr. Winterbank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint. Then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Okay, so they're lying again.
Oh, I don't know.
Did you see the accused at that time?
Well, they mobbed Tula. Couldn't tell ya.
No way, Cobber. We had bigger fish to fry then.
I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Keep that pony better than any fit with us like he was possessed.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Windibank shouted these words in your previous testimony too. However, you claim that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door.
Oh, did we?
But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he?
Oh, well, yeah.
Was the victim Mr. Windibank wielding a gun at the time?
Was he ever? Blimey, Lummy. Great ugly barrel he had, pointing straight at me frontispiece.
So, what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windibank with the gun at that time, is that right? Yeah, that does not make sense. Because supposedly Gina had the gun.
It is, Gov, it is, spot on.
All of a sudden, he came at us, he did.
It was bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who.
You were clearly all going for each other.
Like Nash said, we thought we'd had it, I mean.
For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an oak, he chucked me over the counter.
I pulled my gun on him and then he lagged it through that door into the back room.
That does not make sense.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windibank?
Oh, no, never. I was just, you know, looking out for me brother, what I? He was beaten flattened, don't forget.
By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the store when you pointed your gun at him. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away and ran off through that door and shut himself in.
There's something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true.
I wonder why Mr. Windibank ran away into the storeroom.
What?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for him with a gun.
Yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Windibank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windibank's hands again?
I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it?
This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it.
Look, the point is, me and my brother. That's right, Nash, that's right. Me and my brother.
I missed one. I missed this one.
Hold it!
Yes, I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too.
Well, yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor.
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter.
Well, Big Brother went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell you, and the old geezer binned him. He did, Nash, he did. And if you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a bloomin' pancake in seconds.
At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbrokery. So the alarm was raised? Why didn't no police show up? There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Oh, okay.
Poor Mr. Windibank. He did everything he could to protect his shop.
Oop.
We never had nothing to do with killing him, that's all what happened, I swear.
Hold it!
You say he had nothing to do with it? Nothing at all.
Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shot himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. We know it was because we tried to open it. Boy, it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong, wouldn't budge an inch. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade. But then how'd she get the gun back? It makes no sense. It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel? I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Windibank? Yeah. There could have been. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. The third Skulkin brother. What? What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. It did? What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Windibank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel? You must now provide answers to the court in respect of 2 conundrums. 2, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Wait, 1 sec. Understood, my lord. Are you alright, Reno? I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun. Okay, so we know there's no escape from in here. There's no like any hatches or anything that we know of yet. So the door could have been opened, and then maybe the shooter was out here and shot him as he was entering the storeroom. That's why that's why he kind of falls down the way he does, and why Gina was over this way instead. So he could have been shot there, and then maybe the door had the lock on, or it automatically locks, or something, and then maybe the killer shut the door, or maybe Gina shut the door because she was scared and locked it. I have a feeling the victim was here.
Take that!
The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time? Here?
Take that!
The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Oh, hey, he's actually amusing us. Mr. Windibank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So, you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom. Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony, I put my gun on him and then he legged it through that door into the back room. If Mr. Windibank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot that man in his back once he was inside the storeroom. Yeah, go on.
Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial?
Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself.
Poor man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety.
Oh, of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. Yep.
So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Windibank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. Yeah, Gina probably did it to protect herself. He claimed the victim was shot as he fled into the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in a lock? Yeah, but what if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Is that so? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside?
Gina.
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room. For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. Not if she's, not if it's a moment of adrenaline and she's trying to protect herself. I am inclined to agree, I must say. Yes, that's a tricky one, that, isn't it? Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course, Jeannie would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it?
It does?
Well, if I was Jeannie in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they?
Well, yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windibank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Windibank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? What's us, bruv? If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windibank. As soon as that thought struck Mrs. Strahd, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. I don't think they did. I think it's gonna end up being that one guy. The Eggs Benedict guy. We ain't, Gov, we ain't. You can't believe us. I mean, come on, we never shoot no one. That's a lie. That's a lie, but I don't think you shot Mr. Windibank.
Objection!
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There is only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windibank's murder. Where does this leave us? You mean to say I wasn't the pickpocket shot the pawnbroker after all? I should have known it was those three brothers. They look as shady as a dense forest. Three brothers.
That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now.
I know. First time ever. And probably the last.
Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not.
Yeah, it's way too early. Way too early. An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing? You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeeks? I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly, credibly cannot and will not stand. He's just using big words for the fun of it. Because you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? I say, Lord Van Zeeks. Might be an idea to explain this bully conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground, The fatal flaw is my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. Windibank's gun was fired. That's smart. You got us there. I forgot about the bullet count. How did Gina end up with the gun? By George! Count bullets?
Oh dear. He noticed then.
Iris. Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel. Yes, sir? Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. Two bullets. Correct. The first that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life, and the second that which struck the detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know that there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Winterbank, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Crap. He's got us there. I actually don't know how we're gonna fix this. Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Sherlock Holmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness. I think you'll find.
But if the single bullet that was fired from the brother's gun hit Mr. Sholmes, it means...
Winterbank shot not by the same gun. Stop, only 1 bullet. Stop.
Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. Order! 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 Oh. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar in the public gallery. Wonder how many people in the gallery he's injured because of that. Lord Van Seeks. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. Oh, the disc. A disc. I'll be taking that, whatever it is, of McGilded's down to the yard. Thank you very much.
No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine, that is, mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. Yes, that music box disc. McGilded's music box disc. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Winterbank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Impudence. Oh, good gracious. Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence counsel as a grim testament to the defendant's care. Oh. That's Gregson's voice? I was wondering whose hold it that was. I'm like, that doesn't sound like Rue. Lord Van Seeks, I am... Inspector Gregson? What? Yes, Inspector. We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and I think it was agreed that this disc wouldn't be used as evidence.
Oh. What is on this disc? What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zieks at all. I am unaware of any such meeting.
But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent.
Inspector, I am the prosecutor and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord.
Indeed. Bailiff?
The prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. What's up with this disc? Can we examine the blood? Oops.
Oh, Bruno, look. This is blood.
Yes, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before.
It's my time to shine again.
I thought I'd be waiting forever, because didn't the Eggs Benedict guy cut his finger on this? So we'll know the color of his blood.
It's my time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno.
Can we get this done quickly, Iris?
In a flash.
Oh! Green. Oh, that changes things. A lot.
Ooh, a lovely bright shade again.
Wait. That color.
What is it?
It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? That's why the bullet. That's why this still says unknown and not Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. Wow, I keep messing that up. I think I'm getting the picture now. I think Windibank shot at, I'm assuming it's Benedict. Is that his name? We don't know his real name. It's just, yeah, Eggert Benedict. Oh. So, I'm assuming that Windibank shot at Benedict because he was threatening him. Maybe shot him through the shoulder or something, you know, very Von Karma. And that's what this bullet is. And then he ran into the storeroom. And then Benedict shot him in the back as he was fleeing with the third gun. And then he left somehow. And then the Skulkin brothers lingered, and then they shot Sherlock Holmes, whose maybe the bullet was inside of him still. Like, it never, the bullet didn't exit. That's why he had to go into surgery and stuff, and that's why we haven't seen him to ask him. I'm wondering if that's the story. That's my theory. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once. For all of 5 minutes.
Oh dear. Wasn't even for 5 minutes, Bruno.
My lord, I don't know who's yelling. Oh, him. Garrideb. Wonder if I might say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden, the answer's bully obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it.
No, not again. Oh no. Very well. The court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leadings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Oh my god. Here we go.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Oh. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. Man. When you have eliminated the impossible, whichever remains must be the truth.
That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. Ugh, how dare he use it against us.
Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That's beyond any doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready? Goverdib Squandred is primed and ready for action, sir. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say, Different breed to us law-abiding citizens.
As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
I feel like that's going to be important.
You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket.
Okay, he doesn't seem helpful. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief.
Oh! Did he work? Wait, did he work on Sherlock Holmes? Is he gonna tell us there was a 3rd bullet? Okay, we gotta press him.
The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I could see I'm in for a busy day ahead.
I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. Okay, he's gonna be important too. Juror number 2, 4, and 6 seem the most important to me, but usually there's 4 jurors we need to pick out. I don't know who the 4th one's gonna be. It would seem there is a little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me.
It's not fair.
Iris?
The prosecutor's being mean. Just because Ginny's done something she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer, thank you.
Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Wow. Poetry. Here's to the truth coming out. Eventually. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. I want to talk about juror number 4. He's the one I'm most interested in. Yes, my lord. He definitely worked on Sherlock Holmes, I feel like. I feel like that's where we're gonna get that. Where my theory is going to come into play. The defense's rebuttal. Alright. Oops. You.
Hold it!
Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is... I couldn't really say that it has nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet had simply vanished from his stomach. Huh? It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? What? I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on... What was the fellow's name now? Hairlick? No. Hairlock? No. Hairlock? Herlock Sholmes, by any chance? Yes, good lord. It was that Hairlock fellow. What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes? That's right, using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see, the fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find the bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. I hate to state the obvious, but... Yes? Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. The counsel for the defense is correct. As is clearly shown in this photographic print, the bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach sorry, it's for you. The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. That seems way too high up for him to be shot in the stomach, and that's like a weird angle it'd have to be. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Who do you think I am, son? Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound to the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did. And there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign the bullet had left the body at all. Yeah, no exit wound. Okay. Okay, first off, where the hell did his bullet go? Where the hell did Herlock's bullet go, first off? Secondly, that proves there was 3 bullets. What? That's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards. Which is exactly why I said about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser, even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can somebody please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve the mystery? Oh, the gun expert. It's almost as much as a mystery as this jury was put together. As how this jury was put together. The mystery of where that bullet ended up is infuriating. Where's an expert when you need one? Yep, there we go.
Objection!
These 2 statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Oh, a ballistics expert. Pitting. B-I-D-D. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall in the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello. My name is Villain. Pleased to meet you. Yeah, Villain. This apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen very similar situation in Motherland. It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away from Long Mountain Road in freezing cold. Golly! The snow was piling high on both sides of road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles, and they were on dog sleds. Mental note, don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and I fell down in snow. And this situation was very similar to what I heard today from doctor. They could not find bullet in my body, and no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. Then where did the bullet go? Bullet never hit me. Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side. What? One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lump of ice and pierced my body. It made a deep wound and was just like bullet wound. Okay. Good gracious. Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that is solution to mystery of disappearing bullet. Okay. But that doesn't answer the question at all. The shooting happened in a pawnbroker shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here.
Reno, where exactly was Hurley shot again?
Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think.
Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt.
A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that.
Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials, very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations.
What? Really? Doctor, where is the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remember. If I may. Lord Van Zeeks? While I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Why? Sorry? As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Ah, thank goodness. I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed. Since we're getting the pouch in, I'm assuming the bullet's going to end up having struck one of the files, and the file's glass shattered and went deep into Sholmes' stomach. Bring forth Mr. Herlock Sholmes' pouch. I see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it? Look at that. One of the files is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. And it was the glass vial exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet did not penetrate victim, but was deflected into wall of shop. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective and the accused shot the pawnbroker. Pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered. Hmm. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Da. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence.
Haley's pouch isn't scruffy.
The pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing around his waist at the time of the shooting. One of the glass files is smashed and there are scorch marks around it. No, the summation examination. Okay, let me look at the pouch. Oops. It's really scorched badly just here.
Oh, the strap is broken, look.
This must be where the bullet hit then.
Let me see.
There it is. What the? Iris, look. Behind where the broken file was, do you see it?
Ah, that's the Skulkin Brothers bullet.
What a stroke of luck that it hit its pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is there were 3 bullets fired at Windibanks that night. Let's go. I was right. I was right. I was wrong about it being inside of him still, but I was close enough.
We found exactly what that juror was talking about. The 3rd bullet.
It's time to press that juror again, I think. A projectile was discovered lodged in Mr. Sholmes' pouch. It caused one of the files to explode, injuring Mr. Sholmes. Nice. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion. Please, my lord. A little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue, and you can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. There's still a way to turn this around, somehow. I'm sure of it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I knew it. I knew she was important. It's the number of bullets that has you convinced.
Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlourmaid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings.
Well, that's logical, I suppose.
Although,
Yes?
sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china.
Does your employer dine with thieves?
So I suppose, if there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position.
Okay, we have it. A 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene. Could that be possible? Yes. Allow me to show you then the 3rd bullet.
Take that!
Here it is. We discovered it just now. We found the bullet, guys. Yes, on the night in question at Windibank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to hospital. And since then it has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Windibank and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each, there's a third gun missing. But that must mean... That's right. We know now that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Order, order, order. While this summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As in my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Oh. Interesting. Gregson. Witnesses. Governor? Were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination?
We was, Governor, we was.
Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? I don't make nothing of nothing. Oh, if I can help it, is it one of yours?
God blimey, Gov, God blimey, not a chance.
In that case, did you have an accomplice?
What? Never. Skulking brothers walk alone. Just the 2 of us, that's our trademark.
How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it?
Not me, that's an head scratcher.
Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The 3rd bullet and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Thinking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. Yeah, my lord, I think it's clear what this 3rd bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. They had a secret accomplice, they had another gun, it's nothing to do with them. The secret accomplice. On the night at Windibank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with a 3rd man. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of this accomplice. But the evidence all points to the fact that there was someone else present. Someone carrying a gun.
Objection!
An accomplice, you say? Pig's will. What? These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time there has been not a murmur of a 3rd man, if this apparently wraith-like being exists. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence, that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding, the blood samples we have? Well, counsel? I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is... Yep. I think it's gonna be the blood samples we just learned about. The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers to the prosecution's demands. So, my Nipponese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. Oops. Oh well, I might as well save on here. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it will make a difference. In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the scene?
Take that!
The evidence is right here in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of this third intruder, but which one is it?
Take that!
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of this calendar. Do I really have to explain it again? We already presented this evidence. That's a blood stain, my lord. A blood stain? Green blood. Curious. Is the court to understand the intruder was some unhuman creature? It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
By the great detective. New invention. Stop. Not yet in story. Stop. It's this, you see. Doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color.
Different elements of people's blood?
Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Ooh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood. Talk of blood in courtroom.
Stop. Very exciting. Stop. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windibank. A striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green color of this blood stain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Now, hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated. But the date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Windibank was killed. By golly. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. Then whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. We can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder? Yes, finally. You.
Take that!
And he has motive. The man's name is Eggert Benedict. Eggert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel? He paid a visit to Windibank's pawnbrokery in the afternoon before the incident took place. when the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Edgar Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Broker? Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once.
Oh, that's a lie. What are you trying to pull?
Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say, any music box discs too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. It's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Winterbank for a print showing the fella. Take it from one of his red-handed recorder gubbinesses. Yes, that's him, talking to Mr. Winterbank that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice? Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin? Never seen that geezer before in my life.
All my life, Gov, all my life. Never seen him.
Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can.
Then show us the evidence. Give me a second, okay? I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is.
This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now I'm going to drag it, kicking and screaming, into the courtroom. Are you ready to present your answer to the court, then, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. Just the blood sample again, right? Ugh, keep doing that.
Take that!
The proof is right here in this portfolio. Oh, good gracious, counsel. Does that portfolio contain the answer to every question posed? Yes, it does. I see you share an interest in claret-colored liquids, my Nipponese friend, but... enough. The court demands to see further evidence. Which blood sample proves the man you identified was the one shot by the third bullet at the scene of the crime?
Take that!
As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Winterbanks. Which is when the aforementioned Eggert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. But of course, sir, here is the disc for you. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style.
Wait a minute. That disc.
Is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. These protrusions cause Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed. And the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now. Goodness, a blood stain, is it? My assistant and I have just analyzed the blood stain here in this very courtroom.
Using my trusty fogger gun.
Yes, and we added the results to this portfolio. I say.
It's green. It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar.
The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Eggert Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night.
So there was someone else there. Look at these two brothers now, they're sweating buckets.
Oi, who are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Eggert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now, this flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Herlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court in the land. Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the blood stain turned a shade of green. What of it? Here's to successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color. Shut up, I hate this guy. Well. Yeah, but he has motive. And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. See, right? Is Mr. Sholmes' concoction of... Oh, I don't know. I mean, he is a great detective. What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with that. Is Mr. Sholmes' concoction a load of rubbish? I knew it would come to this. Of course Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But what other choice did I have?
I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it?
Great. What did you just say, young girl?
And in the summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now.
Yes, she's right. Young lady, you have quite the devious mind.
It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something?
Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with.
Iris Wilson, sharpshooter.
After that shrewd process of the situation from an entirely unexpected source. It must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination is yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Yay!
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty? What?
Not guilty.
Two call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection.
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? Got him. Destroyed. If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to a real police brother, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. Brother. Shut up. I'm sorry, Lord Van Seeks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very recently requested a subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that would be impossible. What? What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The name of the gentleman gave for himself, Eggert Benedict, is quite clearly false. Okay. Okay. You can't say that in this universe. Okay. There has been victims named Dead Man. Okay. This is not. This is not a statement you can just make. Not in the world of Ace Attorney, okay? I don't believe it. Just when I'd managed to prove the man was there that night. Could I say something? I don't know who's talking. Who was that, please? Who spoke?
It was me, my lord.
Juror number 5? What have you to say, madam?
If possible, Inspector.
Me, mum.
I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again, the one in which the gentleman is shown.
Oh, she knows him. Oh, right, yes, this one, you mean? Of Mr. Benedict?
Yes, there's no doubt in my mind.
Juror number 5, you don't mean to say... You know this man?
Yes, I know him.
What? No. Good gracious! Order, order, order. Juror number 5, how on earth?
I am a communications officer. Stop.
As we can clearly see.
The gentleman in the photograph is... Stop. Also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop.
Oh.
A very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Tapping away in the telegraph. Stop.
This doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I don't know.
I suppose we all imagined the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night.
Yes, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zeeks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. The court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson. Yes, my lord. I would like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess. Yes, my lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. Okay. To be continued.
Huh. Huh.
Well, my friends, oh, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. I feel like I want to keep going until we hit the 2-hour mark. You know what? Screw it. I'm going until we hit the 2-hour mark. It's a bit unconventional for recent, but you know what? It's giving us a flashbacks. And it's less to do next time. I might actually finish that, episode 1 next time. I mean, episode 5 next time. We'll see. 17th April, 12:41 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Gina, how are you holding up? Okay. Starting to feel quite warmly towards her frequent cold shoulders now.
Ginny, are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything?
Oh. What's the point, eh? I've got all this trouble and fight so long. What were likes of me?
What?
You saw it, that picture. What picture?
You mean this? The photograph taken by Hurley's red-handed recorder. Well, I didn't think it would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure.
It's so bliss. Anyone who sees that's going to think I did it, ain't they? Can you explain what you were doing? Well, I won't pretend it wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court. Surely you've got to have your doubts about me now. I can't think I'm innocent. I know you're innocent. Of course I can.
Ginny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night. Bruno's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still, we'd really like to hear it from you.
Alright then. It was after we had that dinner together at your place. Oh. Well, Iris. And we all had a chat up in your office, didn't we? Yes, I remember. Hold on. One second. After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped out and went down the street to the 2-to-1 to Winterbank's place. I ought to know if Iris' story was there or not. The Hound of the Baskervilles. Sorry, I'm like multitasking. Sorry. Okay. I don't know what it's about or nothing. But if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes don't like. Something what he didn't want people reading. That's why he lied to Iris about sticking it in log with Winterbank for safekeeping. At least that's what I thought at the time. So you broke into Winterbank's? I didn't know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea all that was going to kick off, didn't I? I struck the lock and stuck inside. It was dark as you like in there. So I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of wick. And that's when... What do you think you're doing? I nearly died, I did. Next thing I knew... Oh, I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like
I don't know what. Oh, you're the girl who was in here this afternoon. Oh, I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery. Yeah, the manuscript. Have you got it here? Did Sholmes leave a load of papers with you? Story? I beg your pardon? Under the something or other. If it's here, I won't see it. I'm sorry, young lady, but I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it. What would I do with it anyway? I just want to see it's here, that's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you? I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Oh, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you? So then the alcove unlocked the storeroom door and we both went inside. And it was there, alright. Manuscript. Sholmes wasn't lying after all.
You did all that just to check for me, Ginny.
Anyway, there was a bit of a kick up out in the main bit of the shop. The Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yes? Oh, wait. No. No, no, no. Oh, that's real. Okay. The Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yes? What was that noise? Someone's breaking in. Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight that I don't know about? I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry. I better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back? Oh, well, I'll come with you, Anne. No, don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances. And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back out into the shop. I'm back in the stern, like I said, straining my ears in the dark to hear what was going on. Sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. Started to think I should help, see? So I was just about to go out the storeroom myself when... I heard a couple of shots go off. 2, I think. Almost at the same time. And then there he was, right at my feet, lying face down on the floor. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as you like. Because he thought whoever had shot Mr. Winterbank might come for you. Yeah, so I went to grab the old co's gun. Oh, I figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Winterbank was a goner. I felt funny in my head all of a sudden, kind of dizzy. And after that, oh, I don't remember nothing. That must be when you passed out, Gina. If I hadn't done what I'd done, the old girl might still be alive. Did you tell the police everything you just told us? Of course I did, but they didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies and make things even worse for me.
It'll be alright, Ginny. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer.
Rena's about to put the real culprit through the mill. That cove what was there in the afternoon. That Eggert Benedict. Oh, I still remember how he looked at me like I was nothing. He was there that night. We don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. What if he's sulky? Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. You what?
You can leave it all in Rena's capable hands now, Ginny.
Mr. Nara Odo. Yes? How come you trust me? I'll get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGildy, we told you a pack of lies. And you got the bog trotter off with them, even though he was a killer. No, I can never forget that. Huh. I did what I thought was best at the time. But the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what. But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all you know. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in the trial. You were? Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. And strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure that no one would believe it wasn't me who'd done it.
Oh, Bruno.
But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed in me and was prepared to defend me.
Kazuma!
My best friend. Don't flash to Kazuma. Oh. Inosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me and I'll do the rest. I was so happy, I cried. Oh, but even then, somewhere inside me I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. Oh. But I was wrong. Stop. I miss him so much. He was so cool. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he had an absolute, unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute, unwavering belief in him. Oh, they're so cute. Since then, I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What were you saying? I promise you, Gina, that no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry. I won't let you down. Even though I'm a diver and a no-good liar. You're not like McGildick, I know that.
That's right. You're our friend, Ginny.
Iris. We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust.
Yes,
That's really all we need to know.
exactly.
Mr. Nara Odo, I Oh, Gina. Defendant Gina Lestrade and her legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately. Yes, of course. Thank you. I've been both a defendant and defending lawyer in my time, so I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is it at last. The final chapter, the final battle. Wish me luck, Suzato-san. I hope you're watching over me too. Partner, stop. That's a perfect place to end it, especially since I see my frames are dropping. Oh, man. Well, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to the stream today. I'm gonna send you all over to Vol Blossom. Go spread her some love. Yeah. This has been so much fun. Thank you guys for being here. I definitely did not tear up at all. I would never do such a thing. Bye bye. Oh wait, I didn't do my countdown. Yeah, but the frames are dropping and I gotta end it soon because I could see it rising with the frame drops. But yeah, go spread some love. Thank you guys for being here. I'll be back probably tomorrow. Yeah, sending you off in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,